Hello everybody, my name is Anaris, and today we have a Terran versus Zerg on Xel'Naga Caverns. We have RainBOwRAZER spawning on the top right against his opponent AsaZenith, whatever, we'll just call him Asa. Zenith. So, just a little bit of background info about this game. I found it on a Korean replay site, and the Google translation came up as something along the lines of absolutely astounding. So we're just going to go with the assumption that this game is going to be amazing, and I actually have not watched it yet. I kind of figured if a game is labeled as amazing, I want to save it for a surprise, really kind of relay the emotion that I feel when I see this game for myself. I'm going to share it with you guys, It's more fun that way. So we will see what is so amazing about this game here. And just a heads up, I am still a little bit loopy from the medication that... But that's okay because we're just going to go with it, and I have my voice back for the most part. Whoa, little star there. That's evil. We can already tell this is a demonic map. Oh my god. Alright, so we do have a drone on SCV fight here. Who's going to win? I think the SCV is going to come out on top, especially since his friend is coming in, and now the drone is retreating! Oh, and that is going to be it for that fight. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have no blood drawn on the top of the ramp here today. RainBOwRAZER will have none of that. Throwing down a barracks here, probably going to wall off this, have his SCV positioned right here in this nice little gap. Just wants to make sure this drone does not get up here and see what's going on. Not too much. I mean, you can see it's a standard opener right now. Barracks at 12, gas at 13. Probably going to have the orbital command come in at around 15, most likely 16 supply. Meanwhile, we do have the Zerg player down here with no spawning pool just yet, sitting at 16 supply. Drone going out to the expansion. Probably going to see a pool dropped here fairly soon, saving up his money right now. Does not have an overlord on the way, so I'm guessing that 200 minerals will be dropped into a spawning pool any second, but we're just going to keep an eye and make sure. Yep, sure enough, there it goes. Alright, so I hope you guys have enjoyed the last couple games that I put up. Like I said, I was sick for the last few days. So, I'm very, very sorry for not having videos up. I think it was like 4 or 5 days when I had that up. I was laying in my bed, just, on my laptop, thinking to myself, God, I want to cast something, and then, when you actually try to cast something when you have no voice, it sounds god-awful. So, I decided just to play some 1v1s and kill some time that way. Drone is going back and forth here at the bottom of the ramp. This is pretty much to prevent any buildings from being placed down here that could isolate the expansion from the main. Not as much of a problem now that 1.2 is out. Obviously, you cannot block anymore with two 2x2 structures. You do have to have, I think it's one 3x3 and one 2x2. Something like that. I haven't actually played with it since the patch came out, but we see some drones are being transferred over here, looking to get that economy going, and gas is looking pretty good as well. Obviously, just started on that a second ago. SCV is going to be drilling into the spawning pool as hard as he can. I think it just said spawning fool. I'm not sure where that came from, but he will be running away from the Zerglings. Oh no, I think we're the first casualty of the game here, ladies and gentlemen. SCV has gone down. RainBOwRAZER is building a factory now, and there's the second gas. Going to expect to see probably some mid-level play for here, or not play, rather, but mid-level tech for a while. Just because, he got that factory down, and he's just now getting the second geyser. He doesn't want to go too high up the tech tree without having that geyser secured and that additional gas coming in. Might see a second barracks thrown down here in just a minute. I don't know. That's going to be my guess, however. As we do have some Hellion action going on here. I think if you guys watched that other game that I just put up, BC versus Nexon, you really can appreciate the Hellions, man. I mean, I don't know about you, but I really did enjoy some of that sexy Hellion action. Marines are hanging out at the Xel'Naga watchtowers. In this map in particular, the Xel'Naga watchtowers are so crucial to control. I mean, you can see all 4 entryways in the map just by holding those 2 towers. It's so easy to hold. Well, not really easy to hold them, but, it's so easy just to send a unit down there, hold it, and you can defend it if you want to, but very good thing to have. These Marines are going to come down here and see this expansion. Obviously, there is a spine caller, so there's not going to be a lot that they can do, at least on this half. They maybe can get in here. Oh, but the Hellions are going to come in. Oh, great lineup for the Zerglings. Look at that. So many of them taking a hit, but not going down. The Hellions are actually focusing on the Queens instead, while the Marines kite away the Zerglings. Hellions taking so much damage. Look at that. 1 kill, 0, 2 health, and 6. So, probably not the most effective shots, but they were able to get, I think, 1 or 2 nice blasts on the Zerglings, allowing the Marines to kite away. But there are some roaches now. Obviously, roaches are very good at countering this force right here, which is apparently holding back this poor Hellion, stuck behind the Marines right now. And it looks like they're probably going to have to retreat all the way back to the base, where they will meet up with the 2 bunkers. The This will obviously be able to hold off a couple roaches. Now look what we have here. We're going straight into 2 starports with 2 tech labs. Probably going to see about getting a fast tech switch up to some Banshees, as that would actually be a pretty darn effective technique here. Roaches are going to be approaching the top of the ramp world. The bunkers are completed. Going to have 3 Marines loading into the top one and 1 into the bottom. Good split there. Got to make sure, of course, the roaches don't come down here and do any harassment with any overlord moving up. Which I don't think there's any overlords around here now. No, there's not. But still, that can be a threat. Something you do have to watch out for. Alright, so these 2 Hellions are going to be heading down south. They may decide to go into the mineral line once again, but like I said, you know, they've got these roaches down here and the queens, and Spinecrawler are actually hanging out way over here, but still, you know. Sporecrawler is going up. That'll be good in countering the Banshees. Here come the Hellions getting a lineup for the shot. Let's keep an eye on what's going on here. Looks like they take out 1 drone, 2, and I think that's actually going to be it. They're not going to be really that effective. You know, he could have lined up a few more shots. Look at the mineral line for the main here. A couple sport crawlers, 1 queen, but, you know, neither base really has enough drones to make for a good flaming there. So, meanwhile, back up here at the Terran base, 2 more barracks are going down. Looks like I was a little bit wrong with my assessment earlier, but now we do have the barracks going up. Obviously, that gas was dedicated to do the tech switch to get to the 2 starports and the Banshees. So right now, RainBOwRAZER is running 3 barracks. Oh, wait. 4 barracks, 2 starports, 1 factory off of 1 base. Let's look at the income tab. Take a look at the workers rather. 30 to 32 right now. Income's about even. You can see obviously he's 1 up on the gas, but the mule is keeping him up on the minerals there despite the harvester discrepancy. All right, so here come the Banshees coming right into the main base where they actually get the creep tumor. Haha, take that! You little devilish creep tumor, you. Queens are responding, however, they do not really have enough energy for a transfuse, so probably not a good thing to engage at this point. Hanging out by the spore crawlers, good idea there. And really, this is a good idea to take this out. I mean, you can obviously prevent any sort of Zergling harassment, or maybe any banelings he decides to make in a little bit. You know, he could also take out the gas here. That would obviously hinder his roach production and teching. Right now, he's sitting on a lot of gas right now. That you can see he's sitting on almost 800 gas. He's probably saving it up for something. Obviously, roaches only cost 25 gas per, so it's not like it requires a huge investment. That's going to let you save up for whatever you want. You do have to see a Spire just went down a second ago, so obviously we're going to see some gas invested into that. Armor 1 is on the way as well for the Zerg player. Uh-oh, Terran player is moving out now. Does not have siege tech completed just yet, but it is about 40%. Stim pack is on the way as well as 5 Marines. So we got a whole slew of upgrades coming over for the Zerg player. Banshee's coming in here for their harassment as the roaches are taking out the destructible rocks, maybe wanting to expand down here into this 3rd expansion. Of course, Zerg wants to stay 1 base up their opponent. So, you know, obviously AsaZenith does have a nice economic system worked out here. He's obviously up 1 base, but still, like I said, RainBOwRAZER really pumping out of this 1 base as much as possible. Even, I think it was this Comscat that just dropped a second ago there. Yep, there it was. Saw that energy drop down as the Terran player actually, siege tank. Siege mode is just about complete. There it goes. So here comes the attack. Hellions moving up front, where they will actually take some free hits from the Spinecrawler. I'm sure the Zerg player is happy about that. Does not knock it out, though, completely. 15 health as the Terran moves up to the natural expansion. There's the Banshee. Got 3 kills total, but 14 hit points. Got to stay out of there. Got to watch out for that Sporecrawler. Good idea getting those drones. Pretty much everything from the expansion at this point. You know, you look at it, the forces right now, you can see he's not really sitting that well. 91-91. Obviously, the Terran is supply block. Not a good position to be in. But right now, he is down here in the natural expansion, just cleaning up at this point. Obviously, the roaches want to get away, you know, get as many forces here, last as long as possible, and here come the queens even. They're just pretty much just going to absorb some damage. They can provide a transfuse, it looks like. I think it's this one that has the energy. Yep, and this one as well. So now the overlords are going down. We can see the supply block is happening, 104 to 98. Oh man, this is not looking good for the Zerg player at all. This base is now gone, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be it. The Spore Crawler is obviously taking some free shots. Oh, but look at the roaches coming in here from behind, knocking out the siege tanks. There goes 1, 2, and 3. The Marines are now flanked from the rear. That's what she said. Oh my god, this is just not even fair. Oh, you poor Marines. Okay, 3 of them were able to get out at the last second and are now heading back up towards the Terran base. Oh man. man, RainBOwRAZER could be in some trouble here. He is still just running off of this one base. He has so many SCVs. Look at that. Working so very hard on that one mineral line while the roaches do come upon the Terran base. Oh, Siege Tank is here at the base of the ramp. Obviously, the terrain will help him just a little bit. Marines have stimmed and are shooting as fast as they can. One medevac here cannot hope to save the day, however, as more Terran reinforcements are coming down the bottom of the rip. He's going to have to pull some of those SCVs off